Hey everybody, it's been a minute since I've done anything, said anything, or even let anyone know if I'm still alive or okay. But don't worry, I'm alive, I'm okay. I've just been busy because I've literally got a new job, 9 to 5 kind of thing, the business. But don't worry, I'm still actively drawing, providing different forms of content. I've just been working hard, I've been super tired, but I'm excited and I have energy, so I wanted to put out a couple of like videos that you guys have been waiting for. Um, Disappointment that I'm gonna have to push back the Maggie video because it's super long and oh boy, a lot of people are not gonna like what I have to say, but I'm kind of prepared for it. That's kind of my fucking legacy in this community, just saying things that trigger people. But that's besides the point. The point is I'm here and I'm here to update you on, as you probably read in the title, the SMG4 hacking situation. Now, I know someone's gonna probably say, oh, Lilum, what the hell are you still talking about this for? This has like been resolved. It's been like 6 to 7 days since the incident, and SMG4 has a shit back, which is good. It's actually really good news. But there's some things I wanted to point out and kind of talk about in retrospect and connection to all of this going on. A couple of things that have actually kind of bugged me a little bit, and I'm not 100% sure if anyone else feels the same, but I do want to update those that aren't still in the loop. So, as you already know, in my last video, I mentioned SMG4 had been hacked. All his accounts were hacked. His Discord, Twitter, I believe even his YouTube channel was hacked, but he was able to recover that really fast, which is good in essence because he warned everybody right away about the situation. He took care of it, lickety split. So, what exactly did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about something that was kind of bugging me about the entirety situation. For one thing, I will say how it all came about and how it quote unquote ended. It didn't really end, it just kind of tapered off, and I'll explain why. Right here, SMG4 explains exactly what I mentioned in the video a while back. Literally 6 days ago, I posted that video. And, this is no brainer. I never cracked any fucking code. Obviously, it was a personal attack against him and the community since clearly this hacker knew people SMG4 knew. And he knew Luke, he knew Kevin. So obviously, this was very personal on his end, and I'm glad it got resolved. Obviously, it has some to do maybe some inner circle BS. I'm not sure, but clearly, especially since the hacker started doxing him and whatnot, it was pretty damn serious. And it's good this got resolved right away. But there was something that bothered me about it. Everything that had went on with the hacking situation, it was kind of weird in the sense that he only mentioned everything going on Twitter, which I'm not sure if anyone, noticed that, but he only said about two things referring to the situation on YouTube, and most everything else going on was on his Twitter, which is fine because this is the biggest platform most people use. But this is what's bothering me. He only said two things about it on YouTube. YouTube being his biggest, largest platform with, all his subscribers and whatnot. And if they have notifications turned on, they will see what's going on with him. And why I'm bothered by this is simply because on Twitter he has said he would make, well, more like Kev said, that Luke would make a video updating everyone on the situation if anything changes, which is fine. And yes, I know people are going to be like, Lilum, he made a video. That's exactly my point. He only made a video on Twitter. And I know someone's going to probably say, Lilum, that's not a bad thing. He made the video. He did what he promised. He did, but that is exactly the problem. A lot of people don't seem to really realize not everybody in the whole planet uses Twitter. And since I've pretty much had my nose in this community so for about eight-ish kind of years, I've dealt with a lot of different members of the community, and I can promise you not everyone has a Twitter account, and that's saying a lot considering the type of content I make. If they're not willing to make a Twitter for that or have a Twitter available just to follow that type of content or like it, What makes you think they have like Twitter for SMG4 content alone? So imagine about a million or so subscribers to SMG4, and about a quarter of them don't have Twitter. How else are they going to get this information? I'm not 100% sure if SMG4 said anything on Instagram. I don't really use my Instagram like that, and it's a bit of a clutterfuck right now. But I'm pretty sure he probably also said something on Instagram. I think he made a video also on his Instagram Live. But my point is, his main platform is YouTube. And YouTube knows how to circulate drama. I'm not saying Twitter doesn't know how to circulate drama, but a lot of things can get buried and whatnot. So I feel like SMG4 should have thoroughly addressed this situation, not mainly on Twitter, but he should have addressed it on a more speak and video appropriate thing like YouTube. Get the whole like situation in one big bulk and maybe share that video constantly on Twitter, which I think would be easier because again, not everyone has constant access to Twitter or Instagram or even have to have those apps or even are on those apps to begin with. And I know that might sound far-fetched, but I've actually had people in my DMs or even in my Discord saying that they don't use Twitter. I've even had someone in my comment section in my last video say that they had no idea about the situation, which is actually alarming considering this was a hacker situation. And this hacker had access to SMG4's handle and everything else and spread a bunch of links. And anyone that didn't know about the situation could have easily clicked those links. And I don't understand why SMG4 kind of just stuck to just saying the important things on Twitter when Twitter's algorithm is actually kind of dog shit. So it could get easily lost or buried or refreshed because Twitter buries like tweets. Like if you haven't started already looking at like tweets for the day, it's gonna get buried. And I'm pretty sure not everyone's scrolling to the very bottom to see, oh, you've been caught up. No one does that. So I feel like SMG4 should have did a better job of, keeping everyone summarized on the situation when making a YouTube video versus a flimsy Twitter, like TikTok kind of short. I feel like that really helps nobody. And what bugs me more is that it felt very vaguish. Like, yes, he already explained how he got hacked. One of his friends got hacked. This hacker pretended to be his friend in detail, great detail, mind you, and SMG4 fell for it. I don't know how someone like him fell for a hack, but anyone can do it. No one's perfect. So when that happened, he explained throughout all his tweets, and you can probably go to his Twitter and still find them, what was going on, if he got everything back. And then eventually he started, memeing on the hacker, hyping up the community, saying like, oh, yeah, we did it, and you guys are great, which is fine. But I feel like he should have did more talking about the situation because, as he said, it was a personal attack. And like my last video, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but I had a feeling SMG4 wouldn't take this situation seriously and come up with a big video explaining what was going on. And yes, it is his business. Like, say if it wasn't it was a personal attack from his inner circle or something, and the hacker was someone he knew personally, you may not want to make a video about that. But there's a lot of YouTubers I know that understand they have maybe millions of subscribers or just have a big following in general. And not a single one of them would not pass up a chance to make a serious let's talk video about what happened. And I feel like that's really important to keep that transparency with your community. If you're going to say this was a personal attack on you and your community, you need to make sure everybody knows, no matter how repetitive it is. So many people have already known and established and said this. SMG4 mostly has a kid-based audience. If that's the case, kids wouldn't know much about this. But they'll do anything because they're already on social media, so they do anything without thinking. And that's the danger of it. Anyone can get hacked, especially since SMG4, sells merch and whatnot. Pretty sure these kids might just be like, steal their dad or mom's credit card and maybe even buy some merchandise or like click a link if they think it's from SMG4, because people get starstruck by these things. There's a lot of, aspiring creators that want to talk to SMG4, want to be his friend, want to be on his team, be it for Glitch or SMG4 as a whole, to work with him. So it's very easy for people to be gullible and fall for this. And the fact that he basically kind of brushed it off and started going on about like if he can get his tweets back. I don't even know if you can even do that. Like, bruh, if you can do that, then I've learned something new about Twitter. But I don't think you can even get your old tweets back if they've already been deleted. But in my humblest opinion, I'm disappointed that this is what he's worried about. I'm not gonna pretend I read every single one of his tweets since I've been following him, but maybe it's nostalgia. I don't know. But his tweets aren't important. His fans are, and I feel like he should take a bigger stance on communicating what's been going on, or touching bases, or at least letting us know what's going forward, instead of promoting End of the World of Fat Italians, arc number 3, or whatever the fuck, and talking about getting his old tweets back, or memeing on the hacker in general. Which, by the way, if this wasn't a personal attack, why are you memeing about this? It makes me feel like either you're nervous about it, so you're just letting people know, like, haha, I'm not nervous, but I'm actually scared underneath, or you're really not taking this seriously. Like, I know, again, someone might take this out of context and think SMG4 is not doing a good job. I feel like he did the bare minimum. I think he should have did more, especially given his type of platform and how large it is. And I'm not just pulling shit out of my ass or pulling drama out of my ass. This is still an ongoing issue. Like, after he got hacked, like 5 days later from that, even when I dropped my video, there were people in my Discord still getting hacked. There were people outside of my Discord getting hacked through this situation alone. So I feel like he really needs to make that video to fill the gap, be transparent, let us know what's going on. Has it been completely resolved? And as far as I know, that account is still up. And I know everyone's speculating, okay, what does this person want? Do they want money? Do they want attention? And obviously they have like a little group of other mini hacker minions or something. I'm not sure. I'm not up to date with the whole conspiracies or a situation about it. But my point is, I wanted to give an update that, yeah, SMG4 has all his accounts back, but SMG4 is no longer talking about the situation. He might still bring it up every now and then on Twitter, since he seems to be more tech savvy on his Twitter and likes to talk about things going on in his life on Twitter more, which I would like to say is a bad thing. You need to be very broad across all your platforms. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm just a little disappointed a big video didn't come out, and the only video we got was that small mini video being kind of vague. All this other extra info I've gotten about maybe the hacker's location and everything else, I got it outside of Twitter. So unless someone's really proactive in the community, you're not going to know what's going on. If you're proactive on Twitter, or you're not proactive on Twitter, you're not going to know what's going on. It's kind of disappointing in the actions he took to just be transparent all the way through. I'm not saying SMG4 is a bad guy. I'm just saying he could have did better. But literally, shout out to everyone that's been spreading the word on Discords and any kind of media they have. I know people that are kind of like YouTubers that might, talk about it here and there. And I know a couple of like people on Twitter and Newgrounds and Instagram that have mentioned it. So shout out to those people. But honestly, it feels like the community's doing a bigger job of spreading the word and trying to get the hacker taken down versus SMG4 himself. I'm not going to pretend I understand the entire situation. Maybe he's having difficulty. Maybe he doesn't want to talk about the situation. Maybe he needs to move on. But I feel like moving on at this point in time is still not a good idea, since people are still being affected by the situation. And I'm just a small content creator. I'm just a fan artist. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that haven't even heard of me. I'm pretty sure about 75% of his fan base hasn't freaking heard of me. And that's all the more reason why he should make a video, basically at least warning like his audience again about cyber safety. Do two-factor authentication. Like, don't click strange links. Don't just leave it to tweets to get your message across. There's no telling when someone's going to see those tweets, if ever. But that's honestly all I have to say. Everyone stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.